having made the decision that retrofitting is something you'd like to think about, the next question is to say, should I be thinking about it for my building in particular, or for this building in particular? The easy way to make that decision is to start looking at the performance of the building. This is where systems like Neighbors come in. Okay? Neighbors is a performance-based benchmark. So it is assessing the in-operation energy efficiency of your site. It's a scale that goes from 0 stars, which is so bad that you really want a brown paper bag and hide in the corner, okay, through to 2.5 stars, which is average, which I'm afraid is still brown paper bag material these days, through to 4 stars, which is pretty good, through to 5 stars, which is really good, and now we've got 5.5 and 6 stars, which were only just created as available rating points in the last year, which are mind-blowingly good, okay? Now, when it comes down to it, for offices, anything that is rating poorer than 4 stars is fair game, okay? I can guarantee you that anything that's rating less than 4 stars has got significant opportunities in it, okay? There'll be dumb stuff happening in your building. For hotels and shopping centres, I'll be a little bit more conservative and say 3.5 stars. To some extent, that's because we've had now 12 years of operating experience with Neighbors in offices, and the industry has got a lot smarter about how to deliver high efficiency in those areas, whereas the industry is still learning about how to deliver high efficiency in the hotels and shopping centre areas. Also in the hotel sector, there's a very large operational component to the energy consumption, which is not necessarily present in some of the other areas. So, how many buildings does that affect? Well, that really says that 80 to 90% of the buildings in the market are fair game for energy efficiency opportunity. Okay, so, you know, you could sidestep this bit and just say, yeah, well, it's very likely that there's a very good chance I can do something with my building. And in fact, my experience is that any building, even the most efficient buildings I've worked in, buildings that are rating at 5 stars, have 10 to 15% of savings available in the sort of push, stretch, quite often incremental operational areas, irrespective of the fact that they're already performing well. So, I mean, in 20-something years of working in the energy efficiency industry, I've never, even when I was very junior and didn't really know my stuff very well, I've never walked off a site with less than 10% savings. Full stop. Okay? So, what you're really looking at is benchmarking, saying, well, if your building was really good, there's probably 10 to 15% savings in it. But if you've got less than 4 or 3.5 stars, there's going to be a lot more than that. Okay? So the savings are potentially quite large. So really, benchmarking is actually a question of looking at how bad your building is. So you would need to look at the concept that in terms of the low-hanging fruit, so this is the operational control and commissioning measures, as opposed to hard capital major plant upgrade measures. A 2.5-star building will have savings in excess of 15 to 20% available. And a 0 to 1-star building will have savings in excess of 30% available, just on fixing up the stupid stuff. Okay? With some capital investment, we're talking about taking a 2.5-star building more than 30% better, and a 0 to 1-star building more than 50% better, which is enormous. Okay, and I have to say it's been a transformative experience watching some buildings where you literally see the energy bill do this, and you think, did I do that? Yeah, I did. Okay, particularly, I would have to say gas is an issue. Now, from a greenhouse perspective, gas is a far less problematic fuel than electricity, particularly in Victoria, where we have some of the most greenhouse-intensive electricity in the world. And as a result, the gas greenhouse intensity seems really small. But then the other side of that coin is that we waste gas in Australia in an absolutely mind-staggering amount. So for instance, when we were involved in taking Freshwater Place, the office tower, from 2.5 to 4.5 stars, we took about 30% off the electricity. We took nearly 90% off the gas. So by the time we'd finished it, we were sort of like, where's the gas consumption gone? And the answer is because most of that gas consumption was going either up the flue or as hot water into the building to give the chillers something to work on, which is sort of not really what you want to do. So we waste gas terribly. So if you've got gas in your building, I can almost guarantee that you're wasting gas. Okay.